Okay. So we do want to introduce portals before they get to level 2. And then before we get to level 3, we don't need much else. Realizing that the screen wraps is going to come before level 5. And you can delete that. Levels 2, 3, and 4 can kind of be consecutive, because I have to front load these 3 skills to the player before they're ready for level 1. Then I can have them do a little portal challenge to get to level 2. Level 2 itself introduces wall jumping. Level 3 features wall jumping, but also features the fact that you can jump on the goblins. Level 4 features the skulls. It doesn't really feature anything else other than like, hey, these are tough enemies that you can't jump on. Then you have to realize that the screen wraps to make a little leap of faith that you couldn't have made otherwise, and you have to get to the level 5 connected. And then, oh, I want to introduce the butterflies being introduced in level 1. That's important. So level 1 is going to need an adjustment as well. Okay. So, jumping over fire. Goblin skulls connected. So the move controls, what's this going to look like? It's just going to be a little bit... These can really happen back to back. Do I want the tree? I want the tree to be on the first screen, and then the player has to go and collect the 15 leaves they need. Let's start sketching some of this out. So bring my donkey over to the side there. So the move controls is just a little flat bit of terrain. Then the jumping is just a couple of extra platforms with the little tip to hold the button down to jump higher. And then we've got to do some momentum-based jumping. And momentum-based, it's really handy to know what portals are in order to be introduced to that. So I guess I'm going to reorder and put portals a little bit sooner. There's something funny about the psychology of one of the early levels I made. Not this guy. Let's see. This one. First steps, original level. When the player encounters this part of the level, they try to jump over to here. But they end up falling in the portal and then landing, like realizing that this is a portal that's going to drop them out the top. And then they can use that momentum to continue forward in the game. I think that's a nice sort of as to like you try to jump, but it's actually too high. I don't have to replicate this layout exactly, but if this is just 4 blocks high and you think, oh, I've just got to jump over this thing, then I'll kind of trick the player into, okay, I really want to see if this works. Okay, so new title screen. Alright, so I'm just going to make a little note. This is a 3. Well, it's not a 3, that's some alien number. Here's a 2, here's a 1. So you do a little 1, 2, 3 hop. And by this point, the player doesn't yet have the intuition that they can't make a jump of 4 blocks. So I'm not sure, the screen transition could occur back here, could also occur later. The first screen could literally just be, hey, move left and right, jump with this button. The second screen is jump higher, and then conspicuously there's no hint. And this is a rise of 4 blocks. Actually, oh, that looked good actually. Just to give you a little extra nudge, a little overhang like this. Because the player is going to be falling like here, so they're just going to have to nudge themselves slightly over here. So this is going to be a height of 4. Alright, and we've got the intro portal at the bottom and the exit portal at the top. That's going to be a fun little intro to, hey, portals are a thing in this game. So we got our little orange portal down here, and our blue out portal here. I don't know why it's a bunch of S's. But the whole point is the player is going to have to go in, get caught in a portal loop, and then go out to the side. And that is going to be it for screen 2. But you are continuing to ascend upwards. So you might actually be kind of close to the top of the screen at this point. And that's fine. What's next? Now we need to complete some momentum-based jumping. So, we've already introduced portals. Now we're going to introduce momentum-based jumping. And I think this is going to manifest as a couple of like distant jumps the player has to make. Because we're going to be kind of close to the top of the screen at this point. A. All right, so how high are we up exactly? How many cells do I have to work with in the span of a single screen? 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, come on, it's 288 over 16. 18 cells, and I'm working with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 10. This can be however high I want it to be. Point is, I'm getting pretty close to the top of the screen. This is probably accurate in terms of the height that I've drawn it. So I'm probably going to be about halfway up the screen at this point, at least. Or 2/3. What is 10 out of 18? Okay, that's just like slightly more than 50%. Which isn't bad. It means I'm sort of in this upper quadrant, and that's when I need to start making some jumps. I think that's what the original title screen looked like. I don't think I need this anymore. We've got our... What is it now? World... title screen original... Here we go. Oh yeah, we were super close to the top of the screen when we're making these momentum-based jumps. So that's totally fine. So I don't gotta worry about that. There's plenty of space to do a momentum-based jumping challenge here. So we'll just actually replicate that. So I shouldn't have closed it. It's gonna basically take the width. It's like half a screen, but we're gonna have the user maybe. Should they encounter their first level at this point? Yes, I think so. I think that the user can make 2 jumps and then they encounter level 1. So it's going to be something like this. Not quite. It's small jump, long jump. Small jump. And actually this is going to come down. Because I want to have the drop-off point be here. So this is going to come over. Because I just need enough space here to drop the player in case they mess up. I don't want them to get stuck in another portal loop. It's not the point of this exercise. Oh, look, that was so satisfying when we completed that line. Totally freehand. Didn't even hold... Yeah, holding shift doesn't do anything. Okay, so... And this preserves the idea that there's only ever one pair of portals on screen. I don't know why portals are a bunch of aces, but it's a thing now, so I'm keeping it. Alright. After that, I want the ceiling to start raising back up because I don't want the player to be bonking their head on anything as they go for their second jump, which is just a flat jump. Look at these, I was gonna say, look at these straight lines I'm drawing freehand and it just messed it up at the end there. Like that. Can you believe that's all freehand? Beautiful, if I do say so myself. And I do say so myself. Alright, bunch of S's, bunch of S's. And let's have level 1 is going to be here, and then there's going to be a screen transition. So we'll indicate the screen transition with a bunch of these dashed lines. And level 1, I guess I'll draw in with like a dark blue. No, I guess it only has the 3 dots, 3 dashes coming off of it. Anyway, that's level 1. So we got 3 screens, get the player jumping, have them do a little portal thing, and this I like this because you jump, I kind of betray your trust a little, you fall, you don't die, you get this unexpected experience. This immediately draws you into the game, teaches you something about its mechanics, and now you've got a little momentum thing you have to realize you're going to push over to the far side here. So it's actually the optimal move to just jump from here straight into the portal and then keep holding to the right as you fall out this side. Then you make 2 consecutive jumps, get to level 1, and what comes next? Well, technically just more levels. Like, I don't want to rely on wall jumping just yet, because the player is going to learn that in level 2. Whoops. But I like where this is going so far. So we're going to save this as tutorial world 1. This is like V3 or 4 at this point. Alright. But yeah, sketching it out in Paint definitely helps, because I can start to think about how, if I want to overlap these pieces in any way. For example, do I want the player to climb a set of stairs off the top of the screen, realize that they come back out the other side? Or is World 5 going to be responsible for teaching the player that? I actually like the idea of having to make a leap of faith that's too far to make. Because again, it's something that is a little unexpected in terms of needing to jump really far, falling, but then realizing you come back out the top. It's not just portals that do that. Although that could somewhat complicate things, because I haven't kept my spreadsheet up to date in terms of which levels feature which mechanics. I used to have a really detailed spreadsheet that showed what levels featured what mechanics in the game. And I'm thinking about whether the entire level in this case is going to wrap back to the beginning, or whether it's just going to be linear. Either way, this should all be possible to do quickly and cleanly. Maybe I don't have to allow speedrunners to go backwards through this chunk of the game. That was more important when I was front-loading a lot of tutorial information here, And I still like this construction, but I could probably just use it in a level somewhere. Somewhere later in the game where I've introduced the idea of the drop-through platforms already. Okay, so from here on out, we just need to introduce more space for these levels. We also have to have the tree somewhere. So if I'm keeping this whole thing flat, then probably my best shot is to borrow from the design of a level that's already pretty flat. World 5 is pretty flat. Manages to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 levels just across 2 screens. Could definitely do something like that. I'm also just looking at their world designs. This is the original World 1. Just sort of thinking about... Actually, funnily enough, the demo world, this one, I could do something like this, where on the next screen over there's just a tree in the middle here, an opportunity to drop through a portal to get up to a high place, and just like level 2 is right here, it's the first thing you encounter. Then there's the tree. Level 3, maybe the tree's in the middle center here. So 1, 2, portal, drop, tree, level 4, tree, 4, 5? Becomes a lot to fit onto one screen. I kind of like the idea of the player entering the next screen and seeing the tree. Zoom back in on this. Whoop, not that far. So you enter this screen, and immediately here's the tree. Ay. Can you tell that I drew that other tree based on how good my tree drawing skills are here? Tree! Oh, what a disaster. I think it actually looks better like this. It's a pretty good tree, if I do say so myself. This is not a good tree. We're fixing this. Paste. There. Why draw a tree when you can paste in a tree? Actually, it's too big. Okay, it just has to be big enough to cover up the mess that I made. And I guess I'll just fill bucket white out. It gets across the idea. It's a beautiful compromise between looking better than it was before and still being really ugly. I walk the line between beauty and, I don't know, not beauty. I can do better. I know, you don't have to tell me. Okay, but if the tree's here, and I don't necessarily want to put it this close to the beginning of the screen, let's move that over just a little bit. What happened to my nice, beautiful straight lines? That's single pixel thin. I need the middle one. Okay. So if you encounter the tree sort of here in the middle of the screen, and it shows you a little, like, 3 out of 15 above it, then that's your hint that you need to complete more levels before you can proceed. So then the trick is to make the levels linear. Like, I need the player to be introduced to the introduction to wall jumping next. Is there a way that I can fit the remaining levels on this screen? I'm going to sketch out a path before I worry about sketching out any lines. So you go here, you encounter a level, and then maybe you wall jump your way back up and encounter the other levels as you go back this way. Maybe it's a little something like 1, 2, 3. Well, I only need 4 points on this. So maybe you get here and fall down. Here's 1. In fact, let's just copy paste these. So here's 1 down here. Level 2, rather. Here's level 2. You gotta like wall jump your way. You gotta practice your wall jumping to get up to level 2. I want this to be a little more obvious that you like fall down to this one. Because you should fall down to it so that you need to use wall jumping to get up to level 2. Get up here to 3. I actually like the layout of World 1 right now. I can't have the screen wrap around like this. There's a lot about this design that I would love to use, but I don't have any horizontal portals like this. So the player, I like the idea of having to drop down onto the last level. But you also need to demonstrate your ability to wall jump. So the last level you're going to get up to by doing this. So the order is going to be 1, 2, 2, 3, 4, and then back over to here. That's it. That's the path. All right. Leaving the red on there just so I can something like this. Drop off like that. There's going to be a platform you can wall jump off of here. This is going to be too high. This is a drop of 4. It's my little 4 indicator here. Because this can go all the way to the bottom of the screen if I need it to. This has got to be high enough up. This can be the literal edge of the screen. And this can go like this. Go like that. Let's erase out these. Okay. And I guess the only thing that we need to keep this consistent is that this ceiling is going to continue to exist and come up like that. So you drop down, learn how to wall jump, get up to level 2, hit level 3, fall, get to level 4, come back to the tree where you have enough leaves. I think that's a nice, interesting, and dynamic layout that teaches you everything you need. Teaches jumping, teaches portals, move controls, jump controls, portals, back to back. Momentum-based jumping to get you to level 1. Pass by the tree, so you don't have enough leaves yet. Level 2, level 3, level 4, level 5. Realizing the screen wraps just in time to practice it in level 5. And then move on to the next world. Okay, I think that's gonna do it. And then the question is, do I just not use this world? I don't think so. It's basically doing the same thing as I've just accomplished there. So the title screen is the new world one. So there's going to be some significant changes. But the only thing I want to keep is the world spawner. Actually, how wide is this? 1, 2, 3, 4 screens. It's as wide as it used to be without this extra screen that I added, that I don't need anymore. And also, this is just an outdated, incorrect version of Title Unless 2. Yeah, this is just Title Unless 2. So, let's delete this. This is going to be Title Unless. You can close that, and close that. And what I can do is Let's just get rid of everything. I'll replace, what object is this? New game spawner? New game spawner is literally the first thing in the list? Okay. Let's not worry about anything else. Rebuild all of it. And we're going to take this width back down to 2048. Nice power of 2. And we're going to give the player a solid wall they are not able to traverse. Actually, let's imply that it's the opposite side of this wall here, which is 13 blocks off the ground. Almost had it right. There we go. Actually, wait. I might have. Should be 14 blocks. Okay. And have it like that. So this is like the far side of the title screen. It could even be a fun Easter egg if I somehow made it possible to get up here and the actual title screen is just there. But I don't need to do that. That would just make things needlessly complicated. Okay, so have a flat ground here. Okay. I guess we'll have some. I should just mirror this. One, two. Oh, what is the height of this? 6? And then this one's 3, and then 1. That? Yeah. It's an exact mirror of the screen on that side, at least. And the important thing is it's too high to jump. Can't get up there. So I just have a jump height of 1, jump height of 2 on this screen. It's very simple. Jump height of 1. Jump height of 2. And then a jump height of 3 on the next screen over. That's actually correct, like that. Then a little drop. This can be a little more comfortably spaced. Really want to mimic the look of First Steps original. Yeah, it's just a narrow drop like that. But it is 4 blocks wide. And then this is a technically 5, 6. Because this should be 4, so the player can't jump that. They think maybe they can. They don't know that they can't. That's the beauty of it. A little overhang like this. And then we've got our first portal. Entrance. And exit. Player doesn't know it's a portal yet. So that's just going to go all the way across, isn't it? Almost the entire width of the top of the level to like about maybe here. We'll worry about that later. Nice. And then something like that. Worry about putting in the tutorial prompts once I've got the layout correct. I can even allow this to drop down a bit. What? I think I need to construct the final screen, and then this one in the middle is going to be the connective tissue. So let's do that. Got our tree here, kind of the halfway point of the screen, potentially higher. Nope. Duplicate. You just need room indices. You are not 0. This one over here is 0. This one up here is 4. This one down here is 1. This one up here is 2. And yeah, this one's got to be like right at the bottom in order for this one to have some space to go up. This can't be too close to the ceiling, nor can this one be too close to the floor. Yeah, those two are basically in line. So 2 and then creation code 3. Yeah, it could technically be possible to jump back from here to here. Alright, so for now, just one block. Bring that up here to the bottom. Even world 1 can be my guide, because that tells me how close I can be to the top of the screen. And the answer is pretty close. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 blocks away from the top of the screen. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can have this even higher, like this if I need to, as long as there's space on either side of it. And most importantly, it's a drop on. Oh, that is perfect. I mean, it's pretty the exact same configuration I have on the other one, so that shouldn't be a surprise. So that lets you get up to here. Same thing. It would be great if I could have this one higher up. This is going to go across like this. This is going to come further across. Because I want this to be 4 blocks tall. I've got a little more room to the right. I can make use of that. All right. something roughly like this. Need a little more space to complete that actual wall jumping. There's no reason this has to be quite so high up. It's this that has to be high up. See, this whole thing can be lower or down. If I strictly need it to be. Something like that. I need this sort of like 1, 2, 3 block clearance. That should be enough. This player should be able to make a jump from here to here to here. So go past here, drop straight down to this one. Learn how to do wall jumps. Wall jump your way up to level 2. Drop down to level 3, which even can be like over and to the side a bit more. Doesn't have to be exactly in line with previous level. This can go to here. All right. This entire block is not thick enough. And then this I can actually seal. With ball like that. Oh, which is really just the same as bringing this one down. Like that. And if I really want to, I could make it possible to get back up there. I don't know if that jump's possible. It doesn't have to be. Let's test that out. This is definitely lining up with what I had in mind. All right, let's see if that opens up properly. It might default to the title screen. No, the splash screen is active. Yeah, okay. Let's make sure that debug mode is on, CMG build is off. That should take me to the title screen as I've been building it. It's not meant to be a hard level, it's meant to be a level that introduces players to the mechanics. Okay. So, you come over here, you can't jump that high. A little bit of text that says go left and right. Okay. Jump, jump. Jump. Technically, if you jump right from the edge of the screen, that's to jump in from the edge of the screen, land there, keep going. You might be tempted to try and make that jump, and you're like, oh, and I get caught in this little loop. Just keep going this way. Drop slightly. Here's level 1. Here's the tree. I don't know if I can enter that yet, or it'll say not enough leaves. Okay, I need a little more space, or I can just nudge this over. That's fine. Ooh, nice. can't make that jump, so you can't get back up. So you have to go 1, 2. Need a little more clearance there. See, if you really want to, you can get back up this way. And this one is also... they're all off a tiny bit. Okay, so I'm going to nudge this one. Is that centered in this space now? 4 and 5. It's not centered. Come on. Why can't I click this thing? Jeez. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I've got nothing against using an extra block here. This is going to come over that. This whole thing moves over just by the one it needs. So now this guy has got 4 on one side, 4 on the other side. Okay, drop down here. This one can be moved over by 1. That one up there is fun. Yeah, this is going to be sealed off no matter what. Drop down through here, get to this guy. And then you come back over here to the tree. So yeah, I think that's got a nice coverage. Jump, 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 drop, complete a couple more jumps, gets to level 1, continue on, here's the tree, tells you don't have enough leaves, drop down, complete level 1, 2, level 1, 3, level 1, 4, level 1, 5, I just want to see, yeah, okay. Might even be worth sorry, don't know what's with all the sneezes today. I think you can complete a nice diagonal jump to land right here at level 1, 5, and then do another jump to land here and continue on to Vault 2. So that's all. It does work best if this is dropped down this much. So if I want to maintain the layout of the jumps the player makes, then I should use this opportunity to drop them back down slightly. Or have one of these jumps be longer horizontally. Okay. So my World 1 guide, close that. I didn't make any changes to World 1. My guide, leave that open. And we're going to start with... I should get the physical layout of it finished before I worry about adding in any of the little text boxes. Because the whole point is that by the time I get here, I don't need the text boxes anymore. I really hope this is as successful as I'm thinking it will be. All right, so let's get this open as a guide. Or even, technically, Infinite Descent I can use as a guide. Because this is the exact same layout. Which, Infinite Descent is really efficient in terms of the layout that it has to introduce these things, these elements to players. So it just says build up speed to jump farther, and you go 1, 2, 3. So that is a height of 2. Okay. So obviously this huge long block here, we want that to be like this. I'll worry about filling all this in afterwards. And I need, how wide is this? 6? Oh, I do technically need 2 of these, so that's fine. Just need 1 out portal at the beginning here. 6. Well, this one has to be 6. Not on the Y, on the X. And only a rise of 1. I think I should actually... Well, I can still let players think they need more space to build up speed, although it's not technically true. There aren't a lot of situations where you have to do a quick turnaround. So even this block could come all the way across here like that. This one is only going to be 4 wide. And it's just going to be a run of 1 to get up there. And we're just going to three blocks here. 2, 3. have this one come across like that. Have this fill in the space here. We don't want the height delta changing too much over here, so we'll bring this across like that. These can be just a little more gently sloped like that. I'll have this be a little more gradual. Bring this across. And then, actually, I'm going to cheat this and reuse these on the other side. Have one come across like that. Just really extend some of these, push onto the next screen even. Yeah, so a nice gradual slope down like that. There's your drop-off point. Make the jumps to get over here. Here's level 1. Here's the tree. This doesn't need to be here because I can just bring this one all the way across. These guys both across. Bring this one down. Hello, Protopolly. How are you doing? It's been a while since I've heard from you. Is your PC finally all arrived and built? All right. Jump, jump, jump. Ah, I set the ID for the portals incorrectly. ID is 1. There we go. That should be fixed. Hey, upgraded to fiber internet. Man, I don't even know if we get fiber internet where I live, here in Toronto. So you can get some nice, consistent, wow, you paid to set up the line. Jeez. That's a pretty penny. Well, it's a good investment of infrastructure, but holy cow, 1.5 kilometers of fiber. I don't imagine that's cheap anywhere in the world. Oh my gosh. I don't know if you want to say exactly how much it costs, but do you want to ballpark it? Yikes. 6 grand. Are they willing to give you any kind of discount now that you literally paid to set up their infrastructure for them? This part at the side here is now useless because you can't back up. No, of course not. Why should they? Why should they offer you a discount? Oh, that's frustrating. I'm sorry that you had to foot the bill and then not get anything back from it. Right, yeah, because if you live on a private island. If we have this come over like that, delete that, bring that over here, then the player won't bonk their heads when they enter those levels anymore. Oh my gosh. That is some serious infrastructure. I mean, I know there's a company I used to work for. They wanted to get fiber internet, but the company they don't even have the option of paying the local provider here to install the line. So they are literally looking into getting satellite internet because that's going to be the only option that's faster and able to get the speeds they're looking for. I see. Yeah, I mean, it's from that perspective, if you're bringing high-speed fiber to your own private land and you're able to sell it, that makes sense. But yeah, it does require that huge investment of capital up front. Okay, interesting. It is actually possible to get back up from there, even though you wouldn't want to. That's not the point. The point is you move on to level 2. And then level 3, and then same thing. You can technically get back from here by doing that. It's just a tough jump to make. And then you drop down, hit level 5, keep going back to here from there.